Hello, my name's Tim, welcome back to Urban Rider, and today we're looking at the Kriega R25 rucksack. This is one of our personal favourite, and I say personal, not me personally, but Andrew, you may have met him, has lived with his R25 for well over 10 years, which exceeds even their ridiculously promising 10-year warranty on these things. So you know it is made to last. Kriega, if you're not familiar with the name, they are a UK brand despite the name, and they basically make really well thought out, really practical motorcycle gear. No different with this. It sits within the R range, so that goes from R15 all the way up to R35. We personally like this one the best. It hits that kind of sweet spot for size where you don't feel like it's lacking for much, but you're not tempted to overload it and therefore overload your back slightly as well. And if you go for something like a 15 litre, you are going to have those occasions where you probably want to bring a little bit extra and you can't quite fit it in. So this is more than okay for commuting around town, a little bit of touring as well if you couple it maybe with a tail bag or a dry bag. Then of course you can add a little bit of extra stuff, and of course Kriega have some more items for that as well. But you can fit your laptop, your trainers, your lunch, whatever you need to. I'm not here to tell you what to put in your own bag, but that's all good for a whole day of riding. The big take home though is that it is a really practical bag and it's really well designed. There's little tiny features that you wouldn't necessarily spot upon first glance. Now, to begin with, the actual fabrics and the materials that they've used for the harness and the base, it is Cordura, and then you've got ripstop nylon for the main body of the bag itself. It is listed as having a little bit of water resistance, and that comes mainly from the zip, which says it is water resistant. It's got that flap that folds over the top of it to keep it a little bit more covered and sealed. If you've got something really precious, in all honesty, I wouldn't necessarily recommend sticking your laptop in here without its own specific dry bag or kind of waterproof covering, just in case. You don't want it to ever fail on you. You don't want to ever find that you've destroyed something that is quite precious. It's pretty basic in its design, but it looks like it'll do the business, so to speak. It's got some reflectors on the outside here as well. It is designed specifically to be a motorcycle backpack or rucksack. So the features are with that in mind. Moving around to the harness itself, it's quite comfortable and it does a really good job of taking the weight off the places that you don't necessarily want it to be, that being your lower back. So it'll bring it up to your chest and your shoulders and your hips to a certain degree as well. A lot of really nice padding on these straps, and the harness is actually what they end up calling it. And then of course the quad lock design, which is their own unique design, which makes it easier to open and close if you have motorcycle gloves on. They're quite bulky. It's not necessarily the most dexterous you will ever be, so it's a lot easier just to stick your thumb in there and undo it. And it is very secure as well, and it will take a decent kind of weight. Then of course you can tailor it to your size. You can move these adjusters around. You've got this alloy adjuster on the side there. The nice thing for me about that is that it doesn't leave a load of loose ends flapping around in the wind, which always looks a bit silly and just kind of irritates me when it starts hitting against your helmet and such. So you don't get any of that with this bag. They're all neatly fastened off, so there's nothing loose just flapping around. Really nice and thick on the shoulders. It is padded. You've also got a decent amount of padding on the center there for your back as well, and that really is, it's quite stiff, just to sort of take the weight out of it, or quite firm, not necessarily stiff. It's got a decent amount of give, so it is nice and comfortable, and it's sectioned as well, so that it deals the weight to the right parts of your back. And then of course the hips are really, really thick, and that again will add to this comfort massively. It's also somewhat modular for the harness. You can actually get a little harness bag as well, or an accessory, so you can carry something sort of phone sized essentially across your chest, and that just adds a little bit extra room, a little bit of extra capacity as well. Then you've got a really, really thick handle on the top there. Nice and comfortable as well, and again that's going to take a really decent kind of weight depending on what you put in there. Moving around to the front, you've got an expandable pocket on the front, and again you've got some adjustability there if you want to expand or compress the bag. You can do that with these buckles, which just undo like so. And then you can see this pocket as well in there. So you can unzip that for the front pocket, add a little bit of extra items with you. You've got an oversized YKK zip. They specifically say oversized, and it really is quite chunky. And again, it is listed as being water resistant. So when you undo that, you can see the inside. If I just take out all of my stuff, don't judge me, I need my coffee for the day. That's an essential item for me to take around with me. My hard drive, very essential, and then my laptop. So it has got a little compartment now, which I've just stuck my laptop in. As I say, it's not listed as being fully waterproof, so I would never trust something on a laptop without putting something else waterproof across the top. But you can see the bag, we've got an extra little internal pocket there as well, which has this plasticky feel to it. It's not the softest thing, but that's not really going to scuff your phone or scratch anything too delicate if you put it in there, but that's just so you can get easy access to whatever you need at the front. As I say, you've got that little pocket just there, and then a nice extra feature, which you probably won't be able to see on this camera, but I'll show you a close-up, is this little strap, Velcro fastener, and a little hole out of the top as well, if you can see as I poke that through. So my assumption, and I haven't actually been told anything to the contrary, is that you can attach that. If you wanted to put that over a hook or something, then that's quite nice as well. You can attach something just through the top there. It's got this little loop, a little aperture, so you can stick that through and seal it back inside. Nice little extra feature that you wouldn't necessarily notice upon first looking at the bag. So Kriega makes some very high quality products, very practical as well, very well thought out, and after owning it, you will start to learn that for yourself. If you want to get one of these, then they are on the website for £149. The link, of course, is in the description. Leave your questions and comments if you want to, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. And for more of the world's finest riding gear, stay tuned to Urban Rider. Thank you.